All right. And here we go. So welcome everyone to the iSchool Student Organization panel for Fall 2019. We are so glad to have you here, both new and continuing students. Even though the iSchool is an online program, there's still lots of ways to get involved. So you might be thinking I'm not on campus or even not in California, but you can actually join student groups and attend events for so many different purposes. And I hope that you all will, when you learn about these groups today, that you all will feel comfortable joining a little bit more in the iSchool community. So today you'll learn about all of these organizations, all of these acronyms. You'll learn what they mean. And then I did want to know you can attend events or get involved with multiple groups. You are not just limited to one. So if you see a few of these that you're interested in, you can join them. We even have some presenters who are in multiple groups. So don't feel limited. It's not just one. You can join multiple and get to know even more people that way. So we're going to get started with the Student Research Journal.
Hi, this is Greta. I am the incoming editor-in-chief for basically this whole year. I started in June and will be the editor-in-chief through May 2020. So I am really excited to be a part of it as the editor-in-chief. And thank you already, Elizabeth, for explaining our acronym. SRJ is the Student Research Journal, but that's not also very clear. So who we are, we're San Jose State University's only double-blind, peer-reviewed, open-access journal. But the main thing that matters to you is that we promote, graduate student research in the LAS field. And it's a great opportunity to learn more about academic research and also a chance to have your papers reviewed by your peers, which is awesome. And the next line here is essentially join the conversation of research in LAS and archives and records management, and develop core competencies and job skills, L&M, which I'm sure everyone either tries to pretend that competencies don't exist until they have to do their portfolio or starts already deciding what they're going to do for each one. But I just want to draw attention to the fact that it does connect with the core competencies and job skills that the LAS program prepares us for in the workforce. And the professional research and publication experience is fantastic, and you can help grow the research profile of San Jose State University itself as we push forward in developing our program and really demonstrating how valuable our program is for students. If you want to go to the next one. Oh, a picture. I'm a picture fanatic in slides. So what's new is this summer was very busy. We did publish our 17th issue in June, which is available on our website, and our next issue is set for December 2019. So I say please submit, because usually the turnaround time for reviewing your paper is 2 to 3 weeks. So there's plenty of time before December, and for anyone who's a continuing student, you have until you graduate to submit a paper. So there's still plenty of time. And if you want to do the next one, I set up a student resource blog recently, very recently, as in the last month. I've been partnering with instructors for Info 200 and Info 285 and other key faculty members in the MARA program to create resources for the key needs that students have sometimes coming into a MLS or research program, especially if you're either unfamiliar with academic research or it's been a while. So there's lots of great resources there, and they will continue to populate. So that's the website, of course, but what's next, I believe, is to make sure to feel comfortable reaching out. Email us with your research and writing questions, and for any info on submitting and joining the editorial team. The editorial team can either be a 4-credit option, an independent study, or you can do it just because you want to and don't want to, drain all your independent studies because you want to do more internships. So it's really up to you if you want to do it for credit or not. But if you have any questions at all, please email us at sjsu.ischool.srj@gmail.com. And if you just even Google, SJSU, SRJ, you will find us. And please message us. We'd love to answer all your questions. But I wanted to keep it short and sweet and tell you that we look forward to bringing you more resources and materials as we go forward, and that joining the editorial team is a great opportunity to improve your reading and writing and research skills and develop competencies that will help you later on in your profession. So I think I'm good there.
Great, thank you so much. And one more picture.
Right, the stressed out student. We all are that.
All right.
All right. So my name is Frances, and I am the membership director of the SLASC, and that is the Special Library Association student chapter. And just to start with about special librarians in general and what they do, you can find them in a lot of different places. Doing a lot of different, or playing a lot of different roles in their information communities. Right now, for example, I'm working at an Arboretum library. So a lot of fun locations and different tools that you're going to be using that you've learned in the program here. And digital asset management, user experience, archiving, these are all things that I have been doing at my job already. So this club has been great for getting more experience in all of this. Feel free to go to the next slide, please. So yeah, right now our student chapter, we have a president, Michael, he's on with us as well. Vice president, secretary, archivist, programming, communications, membership, social media, the blog, and the webmaster. Basically, we have a lot of different ways that you can participate. So if you're more interested in writing a blog post, or you're more interested in reaching out to potential new members, or updating our website, or working with the president and vice president to make sure all of our critical documents are archived correctly, anything that you're interested in doing, we're very flexible, and we allow students to kind of develop what their project, the projects that they want to do while they're a part of the chapter. Feel free to keep going. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, a few of our past events, we had a presentation with the Disney Animation Research Library. Totally awesome. They were talking about the controlled vocabulary that they have to create, and, a day in the life. One day they were talking about, the difference between pixie dust versus fairy dust, and how are we going to map this out? And yeah, that was a cool one. But then also, yeah, we have e-portfolio discussions. We went with the volunteers. A few of our members used to volunteer at the Yosemite Valley Research Library, so we joined them on site there. And we have the link to our events page right on this slide, so we will have our fall events up there pretty soon. Please, next slide. Yeah, and then here's a little bit about a couple pictures from our past events. You can, again, leadership, it's as much as you want to put into it. There's so many different flexible projects that you can participate in. I've definitely made a lot of friends and networked with a lot of colleagues. And yeah, you can also, check out our blog there on that page. And then I think we have more contact information as well on the next slide, if you could go one more. Yes. Yeah. So feel free to email us at sjsu.slasc@gmail.com to join, to be given more information about the student chapter. We're also online. And so, yeah, feel free to check us out. And thank you all so much for joining us.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Roisman. Are we live here?
Yes. Hi, Kelly.
Take it away. All right. Well, our parent organization is the Society of American Archivists, and it's the oldest and largest professional association for archivists in the U.S. Our student chapter is open to any student who has an interest in the archival profession. You don't have to be a MERA student, and you don't have to be on the archives and preservation pathway. The truth is, archival issues and conversations, as you know, are relevant in many areas of the information profession. So even if you follow another pathway, you might want to take an interest in seeing what we do. I think we're on to the next slide. All right, well, the picture says it all. We're under construction. This is our executive committee. I am acting chair, vice chair, and we have our secretary, Ashley Kale. Hi, Ashley. Our faculty advisor is Lori Lindberg, and she's been a lecturer here at the School of Information for 18 years. Our chair had to resign last week. It was good news for her. She got a new job, but it was bad news for us because she had too many work obligations to continue with us. So our group's main goal is to promote archival interests in our academic community, to provide a platform for discussing archival issues, and to engage students in professional activities in order to enhance career development. So we're doing all of that through our social media presence, the events we hold throughout the year, like all of you as well, and through our publication, Archeota, which I'll talk more about later. Next slide. So as we're under construction, we are realizing that we need more help, than a 3-person executive committee. So we've got to get some more hands on deck. One of the volunteers we'll be looking for is a social media assistant. This person will help Ashley and help us with various activities, like we'd like to live tweet our online events. Also a webmaster. We need help updating the design of our website. We've kind of taken a look, and I took the website design class in the summer, kind of seeing our website and realizing, well, we're not doing the best job at being accessible. You can see here that, oh no, I used Wave just for curiosity, and I ran it on our website and found 450 total errors and alerts. So that was kind of an indication maybe we had to work on that a bit. The other thing, I'm the managing editor for Archeota, and we will be looking for an assistant to help us out. And then site coordinators. Ashley's in Connecticut. I'm in LA. And if we don't have someone locally, it's very difficult to manage site visits. And I'd really, really like to do more of those, and not just in LA. Our retired chair is in San Diego, but she's not going to be able to help us out there. So we're going to be looking for someone, down in San Diego to help us out, just with the site visits, being there to lead the group. And in LA, it could use an extra person. And we'd like to see someone up in the San Jose, San Francisco area. We just want to get more people participating, give them opportunities, because that's the best thing about it all, I think. So moving on to the 4th slide. So yes, we have our annual members meeting coming up next week. We're going to talk in a lot more detail about what we do and what we hope to do. We've got all the date information, and that should be in the iSchool calendar and go out on iAlert. Many of our events are virtual online events that you can join via Zoom. And as I mentioned before, we're trying to put together a few more in-person events to have some visits to archival repositories. And we'll be announcing those through the school calendar and other social media. So I hope you guys keep a lookout for that. And now to the next slide. So Archeota, I hope some of you are familiar with that publication. I think it's really special. We publish it twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. And anyone can contribute to Archeota. You don't have to be a member of the SAASC. The strength of this publication is that it's for the students and by the students. If you're interested in taking a look, we do have the spring 2019 issue on our website and previous issues as well. And if you have an interest in writing an article, conducting an interview, or contributing in any way, please don't be shy. We're looking for articles about internships, your volunteer or professional work. As if you can interview someone on, where you work if you're working in the archives, or if you attend a conference. We'd love to have some short pieces on that. So moving on to the sixth and final slide. Get in touch, stay in touch. So we have all of that information on our website. Contact me if you have any questions on the SAASC Gmail account. And that's all for tonight. I hope many of you will join us next week.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mercedes Rutherford Patton, pronouns she, her, and hers. And I am the communications director for the First Generation Students Group. So I'm representing our group this evening. It might be pretty self-explanatory in the title who we are, but we are a group of first generation students. And what we hope to do with this group is to provide professional, social, and academic support for all first generation students, mainly first generation graduate students, but usually that would also include the undergraduate students or anybody who's needing that sort of social capital support. So we are a very inclusive group. We do have our first general member meeting, if anyone is interested, coming up on October 24th at 6:30. There will be a Zoom link sent out to our member list. So if you are interested in attending this, I have some information coming up about how to sign up for our member list, and we'd love to have you there. You can go to the next slide. So this is our first generation student group board. Again, myself, Mercedes, I'm the communications director. So essentially I oversee the creation and management of our social media presence. And we have all sorts of social media channels, which will also come up soon. But we do share mainly blog posts and event information. We also have Amanda Fairchild, who does our blog editing. She creates these amazing blogs that are very relevant and very useful to students in this group. And Nikki Viso is our secretary, but also is filling currently the chair role. So we do have a number of vacant positions here. Our president graduated last year, Jean-Luc. A few of you maybe know who he is. A wonderful individual, so he is dearly missed, but we are looking for people interested to fill these positions. And you do have a lot of support from the three of us currently on the board, as well as Dr. Anthony Bernier, who is our faculty advisor. And with that, Dr. Anthony Bernier, he actually has a ongoing research project that has now been twice grant funded by the ALA to promote diversity, and his focus is, as you may guess, first generation student experiences in library information and science, or library science and information graduate programs. So he's doing a lot of cool stuff with that. If you have been around since the fall of last year, you probably saw an email call out to participate in the FGS study, where you would be interviewed and recorded essentially about your experiences with how it feels to be a first generation student and what that looks like. That's actually how I found out about the group, and subsequently found the vacant position for the communications director, which I hold now. And since then, I've really enjoyed working with this group, and it is a really supportive group. So you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So if you want to connect with us, we do have a number of ways to connect. We have a Facebook group, Twitter. The Twitter's a pretty fun stream. We try to do live updates when we do hold meetings, especially when we have guest speakers like first generation faculty members and whatnot. We also have LinkedIn, and then we have a website. So you can find our blog posts shared on any of those platforms, and please do join if you can. And if you wanted to join our membership group, you can email our firstgen.sjsu@gmail. That is also available on our iSchool blog, if you forget or don't write it down at the moment. And then the next slide, please. So a number of the blogs that Amanda writes are all around helping first generation students realize that they're not alone in their struggles, and that the way they feel and how they may connect and network with others isn't uncommon for first generation students. So we're really about building social capital, especially online. It adds this whole other element to being a first generation student. So these are a couple of the blog posts that Amanda has written. Feel free to check those out. And we're also looking for student contributors. So if you're a first generation student or someone you know is a first generation student, please encourage them to submit a blog post that is around 300 words describing their experience, or if there's something that they wanted to comment on related to first generation students. We would definitely appreciate that. We're certainly looking to grow our activity in our group, but currently with the three of us as board members, we kind of juggle a lot of different roles. So Amanda right now posts about once a month, but we'd love to have more frequent posting. So that's pretty much our group in a nutshell. Please check us out and feel free to join, and thank you for listening tonight.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm Violet. I am the social media coordinator for ASIST, and Alyssa and I are going to tell you a little bit about our organization. Just to start out with, I wanted to give you a brief kind of overview of the parent organization, which is ASIST itself. We're a student chapter here at San Jose. So ASIST has been around since 1937, and they're an international organization that has about 4,000 members. And what's really awesome about them is that there's a huge diversity, both in terms of what the research is and what the positions that they hold or the jobs that they hold. So members of ASIST include academics, computer scientists, linguists, engineers, really just all kinds of information scientists, as well as librarians. So if you're interested at all in data and information science, it's a really great organization to join. And as a student chapter, we're really interested in providing our members with opportunities to connect with each other and to connect with professionals in all of those fields that I just mentioned. And there's also an ASIS annual meeting that provides an opportunity to connect. It's really all about bridging research and practice. Last year it was in Vancouver, and I was able to attend, and it was really incredible to see all of the research that's happening. And thinking about putting it into practice in my own career. If we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So again, these are just kind of some of the many areas that fall under the range of fields that ASIS members participate in. So really, no matter what your flavor of librarianship or information science is, there's probably going to be a special interest group within ASIS that you would to, and there's also a lot of research being done. So it's really a great organization for sharing that information and connecting and networking. And you can see there the vision for the organization, which is really just about advancing the knowledge about information, creation, properties, and use, and providing an analysis of ideas, practices, and technologies. One of the greatest things that I took away from the meeting there was seeing the research that was being done, and like I said, thinking about how I could apply it in my own life and my own career. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide.
Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Key. I am, as you can see, the current Secretary Treasurer for this year for our student chapter of ASIST. And thank you, Violet, for starting off our part of the presentation. Currently, we are looking for students to fill the membership director position and the programming director position. We recently had elections towards the end of the spring semester, this past spring semester, and we were able to fill all of the positions except those two. So if anyone has any interest in those positions, please reach out and let us know. Our contact information will be coming up in an upcoming slide. So we are open to everyone who is interested in the organization. We don't really restrict anyone from joining based on their experience or their position in their graduate careers, if you will. So if you have any sort of interest in inquiring about those two positions, we'll be sure to share our contact information in one of the upcoming slides, and we can also answer questions towards the end of the presentation. Elizabeth, can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. To kind of add to what I was saying, ASSIST does require a membership fee. It is a one-time fee, however, so it's not like a due that you will pay for another type of club, maybe maybe you would have done during your undergraduate career. It is quite affordable, and it is very important to professional development. And some of the examples of what you can do as part of the organization are develop your leadership skills by serving on our executive committee, or volunteering for special projects, presenting an informal or formal talk at one of our business meetings or programs, getting published on our blog, which we run through WordPress, and learning new skills related to the field by attending one of our events led by either faculty from SDSU or visiting professors or fellow organization members from our student chapter. And the organization is also a great opportunity to connect and network with other students that are in our program and in other programs too, since we sometimes collaborate. And we also hold a lot of educational webinars throughout the year. We are currently planning our webinar schedule for the year. So if you have any suggestions as to maybe a topic that you maybe have not seen covered yet historically by the organization, you can definitely reach out and let us know. We are currently very open to ideas as we try to finalize our details for our upcoming webinars. And finally, another example is attending or presenting at our annual meeting, which this year is in Australia. So we definitely have a lot of opportunities for members to contribute to the organization. And we hope that after this webinar finishes up, that some of you maybe reach out to us and join the organization. So Elizabeth, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So here are all of our contact links. We are very active on our website and our Facebook and Twitter and our YouTube page. So you can definitely reach out to us and use one of those links to get a hold of us. So that's all for us.
Great. Thank you so much. So now this is the ALASC. This is Elizabeth, and I'm joined by Beth. I'm my co-events coordinator on our executive board. We are the American Library Association student chapter, so a little bit more about our parent chapter. The ALA is the largest and oldest library organization in the world. Librarians and information professionals from all different workplaces and libraries are a part of the ALA. We have multiple events, which you may have heard of, the annual conference, the midwinter meeting. There's also state chapter events and celebration weeks and promotional events. So there's all sorts of things that the ALA does. And the ALA website, ala.org, is a great resource as well for news, articles, tools, scholarship information, job postings, etc. So even if you don't get involved in our chapter, I highly recommend it to pretty much everyone to take a look at some point.
Hi, this is Beth. I just want to add a little bit to what Elizabeth mentioned. first, by just becoming a student at SJSU, you are automatically a member of our student chapter. We do not have any fees that you have to pay or anything. And I think if you go to like the administrative course on your Canvas, you will see ALASC listed already. Also, Elizabeth mentioned if it's a great time if you do choose to pick ALA as your professional organization in Info 200. They do provide a lot of opportunities, especially if you're just starting out in the library field. They have a new mentor roundtable that I wanted to mention to everybody that you can become involved in. In that, they have a mentoring program where you can sign up and get a mentor from a librarian that's been working for a while, maybe the specific field that you're interested in. So that's something to keep in mind. It is listed on their website, and again, it's the new member roundtable. Also, I wanted to mention this as well regarding the first generation group. ALA offers this great scholarship. It's called Spectrum Scholarship. It's ALA's national diversity and recruitment efforts to increase unrepresented ethnic librarians. And once you do get accepted the scholarship, it's a year-round program where you actually interact with all the other students that were awarded the scholarship. And you also get to go to the ALA annual conference as part of that. So that's always fun. So it's definitely something to look into if you fall within that group and are looking for scholarships for school. So as you can see on your screen, this is a list of all of our that are involved in our student chapter. You don't necessarily have to be a board member to be involved in our student chapter. We are always looking for people who want to write a blog post on a topic or just help out, maybe help co-host an event. You wouldn't have to necessarily organize it, but we're always looking for people to get involved. We know everybody's busy with school, work, and so forth, and so don't feel like your only way of getting involved is to become a board member. You can just reach out to us, say, hey, you're interested, but not a full pledged, and we can always get you involved in that way. Next slide. So coming, as you can see, we have some past events listed that we have done that have been really fun. We always try to do an in-person event, the Blizzard Library Tour. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that one. It's the Blizzard is the video game company. We actually, our previous chair actually works there, so she's always willing to host tours of the library. And some upcoming events that you might be interested is for September, we have a Banned Books Week event where we're asking you, we're gonna put up a list of banned books, and we're asking you to go to your local libraries and take pictures to see how many of those that you can find and post them on our Facebook page. Maybe give your thoughts on why you think these books were banned from other libraries and just your ideas of intellectual freedom. And there will be a prize as an Amazon gift card, so keep that in mind. And Banned Book Week is September 22nd through 28th. So we'll be posting something very soon. And also another one that you might be interested is SJSU. I don't know if you know, does a campus read program each year, which involves the entire campus, regardless of which school or area. And so they try to get all the students, professors, everybody on campus to read the same book. And they always have the author that comes to that gives us a talk, and they have all different kinds of events going on. And so this will be our second year hosting a virtual book discussion. And so the book is Spare Parts: 4 Undocumented Teenagers, One Ugly Robot, and the Battle for the American Dream. So again, this will be posted on our Facebook page and website. So if you want to join us, please do. There'll be an RSVP link that you can do. And like the other groups mentioned, we're always interested in getting feedback from students, and if there are any topics that you're interested in maybe getting more information on, and that's something that we could host and get a professional speaker to come on, please let us know. Just post it on our Facebook page or send us an email. Next slide.
So, how to get involved, as Beth mentioned, attend events. They're open to everyone. We would love to have you participate in any of the ones that she mentioned, and we'll have more later in the fall as well. You can write a guest blog post. We had someone do one last semester that we really enjoyed. You can run for an executive board position in spring 2020, so next year. We will have people graduating from our executive board if that is something you're interested in. And just stay in touch. Take a look at our website, at our blog posts. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and we would love to see you at some point online, or I should even mention in person at one of the many ALA events too. Okay. So a quick announcement before we go to the question section. Sheila Gertu asked me to share this with everyone. There's an SJSU iSchool reception at the California Library Association conference. So that is October 25th from 4:30 to 7. I won't read all of this to you, but it's in Pasadena, California. Also, if there are people who are interested in presenting, you can submit a poster proposal through September 30th. The poster template and printing are provided by the iSchool. There's a flyer online. So all of this information is located on the iSchool website, but I just wanted to let both our presenters know if they're interested in presenting and the people who are attending. It should be a really fun event. Okay, so questions. I'm going to open up the chat and see if there are any there. You can ask questions about a specific group or just getting involved in general. I know that we would all love to answer your questions. So please let us know if you have them. Oh, great. I see people are sharing links. Wonderful. Yes, and definitely, I'll say it again, you can join more than one organization. As you can see, a lot of them have different but very complementary goals. Also, you don't even have to necessarily formally join each of these organizations. There are many ways that you can contribute to multiple student groups. So whatever piques your interest, please contact that group. Oh, great, good links.
One thing that I forgot to mention about ASIS is our student chapter is able to provide some funding for attending the conference too annually. If you're on the executive committee, you can apply for that. So if that's something people are interested in, it's something to keep in mind as well.
Great. Yeah, I know that's the case for ALASC. I believe there's funding as well for board members for the conference.
And also for the ALASC, each year, one of the board members has chosen to participate, and it's called the Student to Staff Program. And if you're chosen, you get all expenses to ALA conference, and you actually are assigned a division of ALA that you work with at the conference. This past June, I was actually lucky enough to be chosen, and so I worked with the Diversity and Outreach Division of ALA. That's kind of how I got familiar with the Spectrum Scholarship, because I worked with that group, helping for them. So it's a great experience. So keep that in mind too if you want to get involved.
Hey everyone, this is Michael with the SLASC here. One thing I did want to add, I think one of the biggest benefits of student organizations is actually sort of that kind of fellowship and camaraderie aspect, because it's really easy to kind of get separated or feel by yourself, you know, on online education, right? It's always reading articles, hitting books. And I think it's just nice to be able to have people to talk to that are in a similar spot, with similar interests. So even if you're not sure if you want to go for one of any of these open positions, I would just encourage you to get connected. I think in some ways that's the biggest benefit that you can derive from it.
Absolutely, Michael. I would second that. We have a question from Amber about how much time we commit to our group each week in terms of hours overall. And I think it varies. It depends on what week it is. I would say maybe a couple hours each week. We have a monthly meeting for the ALASC that the executive board members all attend. And we each have our own positions. So I might spend maybe an hour on blog posts in a week. I'm also now coordinating events, so that might take a little more. But I would say it's very manageable on top of your other classes. At least I've found it to be that. So I don't know if anyone else wants to comment, but I would say maybe a couple hours during a week would be the max, but also maybe some weeks you just don't have anything that you're working on. And of course, everyone is a student too. So during, the end of the semester, we all know everyone's going to be very busy. So there's probably not going to be a lot to do at that point.
Yeah, I can comment as well. Oh, sorry. I can comment for the first generation students group. I probably have a couple hours a month, if that. My role doesn't require so much planning, but we do meet once a month, which usually takes an hour, sometimes to an hour and a half. So I would say the max amount of time I spend a month is 4 hours, but that's on the heavier side. So that helps too.
And to jump in, I can second Elizabeth's summary, if you will, of how many hours we often spend as part of these groups. Because for my position and assist as the secretary treasurer, I spend maybe an hour or two a week on maybe working on my position's responsibilities and addressing them. And I know as we get closer to finalizing more of our events for this semester, we're going to be spending a little bit more time outside of our we'll be spending more time weekly outside of our monthly meetings. Pardon me. We meet once a month on Zoom. So if anyone would like to kind of join us or reach out in some other way, we can plan for other meetings where chapter members can join in and kind of give us feedback on what they want to see from Assist going forward in this school year.
Hi, this is Kelly from the Archivist Group, and it really depends upon what you're doing with us. And I did the whole under construction thing, so with two of us, we're a little overloaded right now, I'll be honest. But we have things like, we're just looking for someone to co-host. I mean, the good thing about that is, you have somewhere, a museum or archives anywhere that you thinks is a great idea, let us know. And if you could be a co-host, which means you're on the site, you're guaranteed to go, because we somehow sometimes have waiting lists. But, it all depends upon your availability. We're happy to have people help.
And this is Frances from SLASC. I agree with you, Kelly, that it's kind of just up to you. I mean, sometimes it requires more hours of commitment than others, and SLASC as well has a monthly 1 hour meeting. But outside of that, as others have said, people get it that we're all students and have jobs. So, we're very flexible with each other. And then if you have a project that you're passionate about, maybe you'll spend more time on that, and that's great too. So, it's kind of up to the person in some regard.
Just to jump in real quickly from SRJ, it's a slightly different scenario in that some students are on the editorial team for credit. So that would be based on if they're doing it for 1 to 3 credits, what their workload expectations would be, because they're earning credits. If you're doing it not for credit, it's essentially, I would say, 2 to 3 hours a week. And we do, as many of the other groups have, a 1 hour meeting, but it's very on point and there's training included in the meeting. So it definitely is set up to respect your time and busy schedules and to make sure that you have an expectation of something to do, but plenty of time to do it. So it's very flexible, I would say, like everyone else is mentioning.
Well, the other thing, again, Kelly from Archives, Archeota, our online publication, if you go on our website and look at the previous issues, contributing an article to that is a great opportunity. And you can do that on our own time. We'll be asking for contributions starting in October and publishing, I think, early December. We'll have to check on that. And then, as well as the fall, we'll be doing an issue in the spring.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, this is Beth. I just wanted to say I agree with Michael, what he said earlier, that no matter what amount of work that you can put towards joining one of the groups or participating, it is definitely just a great way to meet other people in your program, since it is an online program. To meet people that you have the same interest in, and you sometimes will find out that you actually live close together and you can actually see each other in person. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yes. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I keep talking.
To kind of jump in, especially for new students, groups like these, I've found from my own experience, these groups are very, very good resources to just kind of get support from, because like everybody has said, we're all students and we may be at different points in our graduate journeys. We still can really lean on each other through these groups and provide support, since it can get stressful, to be completely honest, especially starting out. And so by joining these groups, you can really get a really strong support system going. So I'd suggest joining at least one group if you can. If not more, since you can join more than one group, just so you can meet people and you can get those connections going.
Hi, this is Kelly again, answering Greta. Yeah, as far as the open positions, we will be having, we will elect a new vice chair, but as far as it's an ad hoc committee, we're not, creating new positions. We've always had just the 3 on our executive committee. That could change. But yes, ad hoc. So, again, to jump in there, we need some help on the website, do it in your spare time. That's not going to be a long-term project. So again, it kind of is, what are you willing to do? We'll take it.
And this is Violet, just to jump in and answer Greta's question about ACES. We do generally elect for a year, but if you only want to serve for a semester, you can do that as well. You can step down at any time. Or if you're in your final semester and you want to get involved, we can do a semester appointment also. So just whatever works.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the answers.
And to kind of jump in, Violet reminded me in the chat, and just in case if people didn't see it in the chat, I actually misspoke during my part of the presentation. The membership for Assist does have to be renewed annually, and the student rate is currently $40. And if you are currently in Info 200, you can select it as your complimentary membership, which is usually discussed towards the beginning of the semester. So if your professors haven't talked about that yet, I would reach out and ask about it.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll wrap up. Thank you to everyone who presented, and I hope that this was helpful. I would just encourage everyone, no matter where you are in the program, to give it a shot. It is much less intimidating than it might seem at first. I know I was intimidated when I started, and we would love to have you get more involved in the community in any way that you can. So please email any of the presenters questions. I do believe that this recording will be posted if you want to look back at any of the information that we shared. It's also, I'm sure, available on everyone's websites. And I hope that everyone has a lovely evening. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for setting it all up.
Yes,
Oh.
thank you.
Yeah, way to go, Elizabeth. Thanks.
Thanks.
Night all.
Good night.